Hey everyone, welcome back to another video about vocabulary, and once again we're going to look at something called homophones. If you remember from the previous video, they are words that have the same pronunciation or the same sound, but they actually have different meanings. So these can be very common in English, and they can also be quite confusing even to some native English speakers. So we looked at some of these harder or more confusing homophones like accept and accept, it's and its, and effect and effect. So if you're a bit confused about what these words mean or what the difference between them is, you can check out the previous video and I describe that in a bit more detail. In this one, we're going to cover some more common homophones and also some more confusing ones. So I'm just going to give you two groups of common homophones today. The first one I'm sure you all know so well is your and your. So I don't really need to explain this one. I'm sure you know the difference. Basically, the first form means you own it, so your possession, your cat, your dog, your house. And the second form, Y-O-U''re, is just short for you are. And our second thing of common homophones is which and which. So the first word you may not know, this is witch, and it is a person, normally like an old woman. It's very common in Western stories, especially during Halloween, to talk about witches. There's some sort of evil woman who has magical powers. So, and you might hear a sentence like this: which woman is the witch? So this is a witch here. And then the second form of the word, which, just means who or what. So what woman is the witch? Who is the witch? So we'll get started on the more confusing homophones now. And they are compliment and complement. So when you think of compliment, you probably think of this form of the word. This is the more common one. We'll get to that in a second. But the one you may not know is compliment, which can mean something that improves another thing. So if you spell it with an E, it means it improves another thing. A really common example of this is you could say, this wine really complements my meal, or this drink really complements my meal. It means your drink makes the meal taste better. Another form could be, these two colors really complement each other. So by themselves, they look good, but when you bring them together, they are even better. So that means complement, make something better. And the form you guys all know very well is compliment, praising someone, saying you look very beautiful today, or you did a great job in your test, just praising someone. So the first thing here we have is that dress really complements your style, and this is the first meaning. So it improves another thing. So you could say, for example, the color of your dress really complements your shirt. You know, they work well together and they make it look nicer. And then the second sentence, I always feel really good when I get a compliment. So when someone says you did a great job, it feels pretty good. And our second group of confusing homophones is allowed and allowed. So the first one means you're allowed to do it. So you're able to do something by the law or the rules. So you won't get arrested or something like that. So, you know, you are allowed to drink alcohol when you turn 18. And the second word, allowed, means not quietly. So if you're whispering, someone might tell you, speak aloud. So it just means speak louder so I can hear you. So you're not allowed to speak aloud in the library. That's an example of a sentence. So it means you are not supposed to, or it's against the rules to speak loudly in the library. And then our last example of some confusing homophones is principle and principle. So you're probably quite familiar with the second one again, but the first one might be new to you. So a principle is like a basic truth or law about something. You can say one of the principles of being a good person is that you are kind or you're generous to other people. You could say, you know, patience is one of the principles of being good at playing music. It can be about anything at all. It can be about games, a profession like a job, or some sort of skill. It's just a basic truth or something people will acknowledge. And the second one is just the head of a school. So kindness is one of the basic principles of being a good person. So one of the common truths that everyone will agree about. And guys, that is the end of our video for today. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.